So, um, when I went to A&M, I was in this class that was just called Animal Science 107. And in that class, I learned the term hybrid vigor. And we were actually talking about pigs when I learned this term, but I'm obviously going to apply it to humans. So, hybrid vigor, if y'all don't know, it It means it's just the concept that when you blend these parents together, their offspring should be better than the parents. And so with each generation, you have better genetics and but that's relating to pigs. But as far as animals go, there's that. But obviously, like I said, I want to talk about humans. Um, I, nope, not going to apologize anymore. Okay, working on that. I think that I am a good example of the human version of hybrid vigor. I say that not because I think I'm any better than my parents necessarily. I know I've got quite a ways to go to accumulate, you know, experiences and just life lessons and things like that. I'm not going to claim to know everything, but I believe that, especially with how much technology has, I mean, there is this point, I want to say like after 2009, 2010, technology kind of shot off. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but in my perspective, that is kind of around the time where I felt, you know, just a lot of new things came to be that made a lot of um, our daily routines much easier. We've got so much at our fingertips. And I think that it's important to remember that we haven't, had all this information at our fingertips for that long. But so, because of that time and because of when I was born, and again, going back to that, God placed me perfectly where I needed to be at every single moment on my timeline. Um, and just, all the right ingredients and everything like that. I believe, that I'm a very good example of hybrid vigor when it comes to humans. Um, I think that I'm a really, really well half and half blended mix of my parents. And on top of that, I had grown up and am growing up in a completely different time than they did. It's it's kind of crazy to think that when they were doing some kind of paper for school, they legitimately went to the library and read books to get you know certain research or information, whereas I just was able to go to Google, right? And so I think that, maybe like a lot of information can, the way it gets to you, it's all very expedited and it's all very quick, like I said. So I think another thing to acknowledge is that um, I've been always very aware of things going around me and very aware of energies and auras, if you will. And so most of my life it was subconscious, but I'm trying to make more of an active effort, recently, is to honestly look back and reflect on and see as it happens in my face the mistakes that my parents made and make, because they're human and they can't be perfect. And I try to learn from those things. Um, different ages had me looking more at, just different things that they were doing. So right now, I'm in a position where I'm about to be an instant mom, basically, and I feel I'm very young to be doing that, but here we go. And um, so, I feel that my family did a really great job of setting an example for me on how a family should blend when there's divorce and other parents and other kids, and we're all going to live in a house, and then sometimes we're not going to live in the same house, and all of that. I think that it was rough in the beginning, but I think now we've really got it to where, we almost got it down to like a formula. And so, and every formula, of course, is going to be a little bit different for every family. We just figured out the right one for us. But, what I'm taking away from that is the problem solving that my parents did. And I really, really, it's not lost on me. And I really appreciate that they did that. And I really appreciate that I got to be a part, and that I still am a part of this big, beautiful, chaotic, blended family. It's taught me a lot, and it has absolutely contributed to who I am and how I handle things. Lots of patience, lots of patience. But with all that being said, I was actually at the grocery store with my mom earlier today, and I, I really, I don't know what triggered this, but so she's walking around, she knows what she wants to make for dinner, and just, she's on a mission. She's just like, boom, 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 eggs, chili, got it, go. And I'm just behind her pushing the cart because I don't know what the hell she needs. But I don't know, there's this moment actually from when we were walking from getting the eggs to going over, she needed Clorox, to that aisle. I don't know, I just saw she wasn't my mom for just a whole second. She was just a person, and not just a person. She was a strong female. And it was, I don't know, it was just kind of cool how the emotional part of me that attaches me to my mom and the literal chemical stuff that attaches me to my mother kind of like gave way for a second so I could have a different perspective. And I just saw this, and she might disagree, whatever, because she had a hat on and she's in her workout outfit and whatever, and she's really stressed out right now. But, knowing all of that, she just came across as this really strong, confident female, this really strong, confident woman, this really well-raised, brought up person that she's got it together. And the thing is that, I know just a glimpse because I'm her daughter. And so she's not going to share necessarily everything with me, but she shared just a glimpse of what was making her sad today. And it's funny because, I spent many years being depressed, and one of the main things that was fueling my depression was feeling like I could not connect with my mom, and that my mom didn't really care about me. She didn't have a genuine interest in what I was doing. And I think that, whatever it was that happened today while I was walking behind her in the grocery store kind of put that to bed. And, so actually I started writing her just a little note on my phone that I had sent to her a couple hours ago after I left her house. And, I just wanted her to know that that's what I saw. And I had a lot of resentment towards her about, how the marriage with my dad ended. I had a lot of resentment about a lot of different things towards her. And quite honestly, I feel that there was a degree of justification for that resentment. But the thing is that I've let go of that. And my mom is not the person that she was 20 years ago. She's not the person that she was 15 years ago. She's not the same person she was 10 years ago. We all grow and change, and we are constantly learning. And so I think it was really good for me to see that. And then I think it's good for me to share because again, I don't know who might watch this and get something out of it. But what are we at? Okay. But the thing is that, I've always actually said this about myself, but I don't know why I never put my parents with it. But I've always said, I think that we should be learning something every single day. Even on your last day here on earth, if you're in your deathbed or whatever you're doing, you should learn something every single day, because there's just absolutely no freaking way that there's any one human that has it all figured out. And so there's always something that you can learn. And I think that it's up to us to be open to those learning opportunities and to embrace those opportunities. And I think it's also important for us to apply those lessons in our lives somewhere, because there's a reason that you learn these things. It's not, what's the word? Serendipitous. It's not coincidence. There is a reason that you learn certain things. And I think that we need to be open to learning whatever it is that is going to be presented to us. So what I learned today is that my parents are still learning. And so specifically my mom, she's still learning, she's still growing, she's approaching a time in her life that is a curveball. It's very different, that's very new. There's a lot of change going on. And it's all happening at once. And I'm not sure what God has planned for her and what all she's supposed to learn from all of this enormous change. But what I do know is that it's going to be really good for her. And I know that she's going to come out of it changed. And quite frankly, I think she's going to come out of it more like just mentally and emotionally more healthy. You know, I've said this before, without pain, you can't have growth. Growing is painful. And that doesn't stop at a certain age. It's not like, well, you made it to 45 and that's it. That you know everything now. You know, that just, you know, and it's not even, oh, well, you made it to 75 and then that's it. No, you know, I feel that's really closed-minded way of thinking. And so, you know, I'm just incredibly blessed that my mom is my mom. She has taught me a lot of things, a lot more indirectly than directly. I've learned a lot of negative things from my mom. I've learned a lot of what not to do's from my mom. But I've also learned a lot of what to do's, you know. My mom, to me, does not come off as someone who is insecure. She never has. I think she's extremely extroverted. I think that, you know, she can be the life of the party. She likes having a good time. She likes things very organized and neat and clean and sanitized. That's something I really enjoy as well. But you know, I think out of all the things that I've learned, it's how to handle things with grace and handle and have class and to be strong. Have a strong heart, have a strong mind, have a strong body. She's very good at helping me when I feel anxious, like with social things, and also like adversities with other people. Like right now, I got a whole bunch of stuff going on that's adverse, and she's helped me a lot with those things. I know that when I'm venting to her, that's not necessarily when I want the advice, but of course she's going to give it to me anyways because I'm your mom and you're always going to be my baby. But as much as I, you know, in the moment when she's telling me, I'm like, I know, you know, and I want to dismiss her. You know, the truth of the matter is that I take the advice. So, I don't know. Again, why am I making these videos, God? I don't know. I'm just being called to do this, so I am. God gave me my mom. Sometimes she drives me crazy, but usually she's a lovely lady.